Good morning to one and all. I am Dr. Sintha Someswar Rao. Now I am going to explain some of the concepts from machine learning. The main objective of this lecture is to know about the dimensionality, the curse of dimensionality. Mm, the curse of dimensionality refers to the phenomena that may occur while we handling the classifying, organizing and analyzing for high dimensional data. That does not occur in low dimensional spaces. Issues. One of the issues is sparsity of data occurs when moving to higher dimensions. While handling the higher dimensions, we have a we have a more complexity while we handling for when compared to low dimensional data. The volume of the space represented grows so quickly. The sparsity issue is major one for anyone whose goal has some statistical significance. By observing these three figures, this is one dimensional for 4 regions. This is two dimensional for 16 regions. This is three dimensional for 64 regions. Coming to the this particular thing, the essence of curse is the realization that as the number of dimensions increases, the volume of unit hypersphere does not increase with it. By observing these two figures, this is for two dimensional, that is called 0 comma 0. This is for three dimensional 0 comma 0 comma 0. Why? Because this is as it has three axes x y z. This has only two axes. In higher dimensions, the sphere becomes a hypersphere, but also shows clearly that as the number of dimensions tend to infinity, so the volume of hypersphere tends to 0. At first sight, this seems completely counter-initiative. However, think about enclosing hypersphere is a box of width 2 between -1 and 1 along each axis. So that box just touches the sides of the hypersphere. For the circle, almost all of the area inside the box is included in the circle except for a little bit at each corner. If the number of dimensions increases, here volume increases, number of dimensions also increases. Certain stage, it will volume increases, number of dimensions decreases. We observe this figure, volume increases from it in one volume increases, number of dimensions also increases. At certain stage, number it will automatically decreases. The same is true 3D, but if we think about the underdimensional hypersphere and follow the diagonal line from the origin out to the one of the corner of the box, then we intersect the boundary of the hypersphere when all coordinates are 0, 1. These are the all coordinates at 0, 1. The remaining 90% of line inside the box is outside the hypersphere, and so the volume of the hypersphere is obviously shrinking as the number of dimension grows. The graph in figure, this particular figure shows that when the number of dimensions is above about 20, the volume is effectively 0. It was computed using a formula for volume of hypersphere of dimension n as Vn is equal to 2 pi by n Vn minus 2. So as soon as n greater than 2 pi, the volume starts to shrink. That means volume increases, dimensions here up to volume increases, dimensions increases. A certain stage 0, volume is effectively 0. The curse of dimensionality will apply to our machine learning algorithms because as the number of input dimensions gets larger, we'll need more data to enable the algorithm to generalize the sufficiently well. Our algorithms try to separate data into classes based on the features. Therefore, as the number of features increases, so will the number of data points we need. For this reason, we'll often have to be careful about what information we give to the algorithm, meaning that we need to understand something about the data in advance. That means we have to concentrate on the data before going to consider the data as input to our model or algorithm. Regardless of how many input dimensions there are, the point of machine learning is to make predictions and data inputs. As the data space seen above moves from one dimension to two dimensions and finally three dimensions. The given data files less and less of the data space. In order to maintain accurate representation of the space, the data for analysis grows exponentially. The second issue that arises is related to sorting or classifying the data. In low dimensional spaces, data may seem very similar, but the higher the dimension, the further these data points may seem to be. The careful choice of number of dimensions or features, the dimensions also called features, to be used in the prerogative of the data scientist training the model. In general, the smaller the size of the training set, the fewer features we should use. In general, the smaller the size of the training set, the fewer features we should use. You must keep in mind that each feature increases the data set requirement exponentially. In generally, the size of the training set is small. In general, we'll use the lesser number features. We must keep in mind that each feature increases the dataset requirement exponentially. For clustering purposes, the most relevant aspect of Kirchhoff dimensionality concerns the effect of increasing the dimensionality on a distance or similarity. The one of the drawback with the dimensionality is if the suppose the particular high dimensionality data set we will use for the clustering. That clustering in generally has depending on the distance or similarity. In that case, in particular, the most clustering techniques depends on critically on the measure of distance or similarity require that objects within the cluster in generally closer to each other. That means it will show the everyone is very closer. This will also affect the distance based classification techniques, that is called k nearest neighbor. That means this dimensionality, the Kirchhoff dimensionality will affect the clustering, which is depending on the distance or similarity, as well as it will affect the classification. That means it will that classification which is depending on the distance or similarity. For example, k nearest neighbor. This is about Kirchhoff dimensionality. The points which must remember is if the number of features or dimensions will increase, that automatically affect the that automatically affect the efficiency at the same time increases the complexity. It will affect the clustering, which is depending on the distance or similarity. It is also affect the classification, the techniques which are depending on the similarity. This is about Kirchhoff dimensionality. Coming to the overfitting, this is another concept. This is actually what is overfitting. This overfitting fully related to the machine learning models. The model which is fully worked on training data set, but it will shows the less efficiency on a validation data set as well as the training data set. What sorry, validation data set as and testing data set. What is training data set, what is validation data set, what is testing data set, we'll discuss in the later lectures. A statistical model is said to be overfitted when we feed it a lot more data than necessary. A model will trained a lot more data than what it required. To make it relatable, imagine trying to fit into oversized model. When a model fits more data than it actually needs, it's starting catching the noise data and inaccurate values in the data. That means we'll try to train the model with by using a not by using a actual needs. It starts to catching the noise data that is which is not required and inaccurate values in the data. As a result, the efficiency and accuracy of the model will automatically decreases. Let us take a look at like a few examples of overfitting in order to understand how it actually happens. For explaining this overfitting, here we'll discuss about linear regression. If we take an example, simple linear regression, in generally in linear regression, we'll draw the line. The training data is all about finding out the minimum cost between the best fit line and the data points. It goes through a number of iterations to find out the optimum best fit, minimizing the cost. This is where overfitting comes into the picture. The line seen in image above can give a very efficient outcome for a new data point. In the case of overfitting, when we run the training algorithm and on the data set, we allow the cost to reduce with each number of iteration. Running this algorithm for too long will mean a reduced cost, but it will also fit the noise data from the data set. As said above, the actual model will train with the actual data. If the training will be so much, automatically it will trained by a noisy data that will automatically affect the efficiency of a model. The results will look something like in the figure. This is the figure. Instead of straight line, we'll get this particular line. This might look efficient, but it's not really. The main goal of algorithm such a linear regression is to find a dominant trend and fit the data points accordingly. But in this case, the line fits all the data points, which is relevant to the efficiency of the model in predicting optimal outcomes for new entry data points. This is actual output of the linear regression, but by our training, this is the output. So by using this overfitting, what is the by using this particular, what is the concept of this overfitting is, we'll try to train the model with a in a efficient manner, so that we'll get the good results. Suppose we unnecessarily will try to train the model, that will create a problem. That is the actual concept. What is the overfitting means? It is well suited for training data, but it will shows the if bad efficiency for testing and validation data. Thank you. This is about curse of dimensionality and the overfitting. Thank you.